You see, you can see this overcast right now. It's nice though, bro, because it's been raining. I've been praying for rain for years, bro. You've been on long enough to recall how much I pray for rain around here. So it's truly a blessing for me to see, you know what I mean? Because I know, like, by Thanksgiving, the grass is going to be green. It's going to look nice out here. Time you got to come down, bro. Hey, whenever you're ready, let me know. Whenever you're ready, let me know. I'm telling you, just like I told you in that message, bro, like, it's really that simple. The hard part is where you're at. This the easy part, bro. Like, this is where you get busy living. Over there, you been too busy dying. Over here, you got to get busy living. You know what I mean? And that's why, like, too, for me also, like, there's a certain cultural recurrence for me also that I just recently cut ties with, and deleting my Facebook account, being able to do it. Cause I got restricted. I got hit with a ban that, if you were on there, you seen what happened. But what I did is a template. So okay, never mind the content now. As far as the literature, only focus on, if you can recall seeing it, the imagery. Because it's easy, real easy to scroll through and then catch something, and you'll know exactly where you're at on there, and you'll know how to, you know what I'm saying? So do you see how I use symbolism? I use their own logos, their own print. I just added my own genius, which I checked, and legally I can do, you know what I mean? And then the color scheme is legally trademark mine. You know what I mean? So that's a set that they just took. Okay, so everybody's getting it in scattered pieces. What's up, your boy Ben? What's cracking? So everybody on Facebook, as we all know, is seeing it in scattered pieces, right? But I'm putting it out there in context. And so what you see, what starts to appear with those logos in that color set, was in development. Now I have the entire chat that begins with that. Okay, so if you look at what was there, and I'm gonna post them on here so everybody can see what I'm talking about. I'm gonna go one by one so you can see the set of 20. If you're on, I don't have a thumbnail on this one, but other thumbnails have that rainbow. Okay, so the day that I catch that picture of that rainbow on here, when I go home, I'm inspired to see this, right? So I'm seeing the rainbow, and now I want to create these logos in that right there, because I got a marketing, an advertising strategy, right? Now this is for every content creator on social media. Now this is helping every content creator to pull all of their patchwork of social media work together into one file. You have to understand something, that okay, where you start streaming at is not where mainstream social media begins streaming at, and it's important for everyone to know that. What's up, Melanie Tucker? What's cracking? What it do? Sana Shabbat, what's cracking? Peanut. Appreciate everybody tapping in. Santos Salinas, what it do? So okay, let me take everyone back, because I am locked up. And this is just me, this is just the story. So I'm locked up from November 7th of 2000 to February 24th, 2011, right? MySpace, AOL is developed, fucking AOL, what else? www, everything. But not me. I'm in prison. I'm doing college courses. I'm taking college computer classes. I'm learning shit. I'm reading tech rags. I ain't got access like everybody else. I don't have MySpace. I don't do Facebook or nothing. But in 2010, I did see a Charlie Rose interview with the CEO, I forget his name, from Google. And you can go and watch it, 2010. It's on there, Frontline. Charlie Rose. And he's explaining the algorithms, right? So for every content creator, I'm advising you, go watch that interview because he gives up so much game on how this all works. Now, the advantage I had getting out was that I knew all of this. Nobody did. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understood something that people didn't understand about it. So, I just looked at it from honestly and innocently, as pridefully, I would say, arrogantly, I would say, yeah, I wanna prove to some people that I'm smarter than them, and that was more personal here than more so aimed at Mark Zuckerberg. But I knew that by what I was doing, just based on what I understood about analytics, because I'm analytical anyway. Like, this is stuff that I studied as a kid, analytics. You have to understand something. The computers first come into play on our classroom desks. Forget what you think you know about computers. I seen them first on classroom desks in the 1980s with floppy disk. I was learning analytics from that period on. I was learning all of the sciences behind all of it. But I never had a chance to develop with the technologies themselves like everybody else did. You know what I'm saying? Steve Jobs and Bill Gates. And I never had the opportunity, but I always knew and understood what they did just as a human being. And then to learn what I would learn over time, yeah, it gives me a tactical advantage in anything I want to do because I can come up from behind any of them. So in essence, this is what happens. Now, I am able to actually literally trace my digital footprint through 3 email accounts. From the very first one I created, here's a lawyer, John, the homie Yao, rest in peace, from SGV, his wife, widow. She's paralegal for John. And so Yao created my first email account and right there at that desk. Bird creates the Daniel Peanut Saiz Facebook account that I was at. I was literally, we were putting down Riza, Yao's widow's, her child dog, their parents' dog, at the Petco out there in Chandler and shit, Gilbert, where, and when Bird creates my first Facebook account, and everybody at the time was like, Facebook's evil. How does it know what I'm thinking and all of this other shit? I'm flashing you back. This is a true story. People were planking, doing crazy ass shit when I got out the penitentiary, dog. And I'm just catching up with all my childhood friends from Edison and North and shit. It's innocent enough for us out here, me. What Bendayo, what it do, what's cracking? Hey, so like I said, I'm just flexing in that way, in a good way. Because like I've been said before, I went that time in prison. When I went in that time, I didn't cuss or nothing. All I did was study, dude. Everybody knows. That's just to be tested. Everybody at the time, that because I did 10 years, 3 months, 17 days to be exact. And I get out in February 2011. And so I'm posting, listen, I knew, okay, so you have to consider the platform at the time and what it looked like and everything, and then looking at it from a computer screen. Because I'm taking college courses, and I'm posting straight 100s. Oh, never mind a 4.0 GPA. That's gum I got to get off my shoes. So, and then, you got to understand something, like as far as academia is concerned, I had long since mastered psychology and all of it, everything that I was taking. I did that in prison without anybody knowing it. So when I get out, I'm just playing around. I'm 24 years old, 25. I just turned 25. You know what I mean? Like that's me. It ain't no fucking super thugged out gangster ass story. Like I personally may have misrepresented. Nah, dog. I lived in a mini mansion. Motherfucker had a big ass room. We had a fucking computer room. You know what I mean? Motherfucker was living good. We would got around fucking. Life was good, dog. You know what I mean? Like when you're living like that, you know, there's no brother. And it's not the gangster story that people think that it is, dog. It's a business story. Those people are in private security. They have their own businesses. Shout out to Black Rhino, fucking, you know what I mean? Like that's a team of headbusters right there from the valley. That them was some big ass, you know, and not just the valley, but from Cali. You know what I mean? Like BJ's crew, Black Rhino, was fucking solid. So you know what I mean? Like it's, you know, that's we're running around with the people that are running the city. It's not like that. But it's just a good time, you know what I mean? Like for me, I'm just getting out after all those years, so I'm just living it up essentially. But I'm learning, and I know as far as Facebook goes, okay, so what I do first, like I've been said this, is that I started, you know, how you can like books and you can like stuff, and you have to remember what it used to look like. Everything was in a big old row over here. So like, I went to my books first, and I just over time built it up to where like, I went through all of the sciences, whether I read it or not. It didn't matter if I read the book or not. It wasn't important. It didn't matter. But the ones that I did read, yeah, it's a cornerstone to a keystone. So what I did was I built the fucking pyramid. A complete pyramid based on the books that I referenced in there that I liked. And then I do my movies and documentaries, allegorical and all, you know, metaphorical and all, everything that correlates to that. While I'm going to college, posting straight 100, my grades 100s per assignment. So then, you know what I mean? Like I have a unique, charismatic, gravitational pull towards my profile in itself based on several factors, key factors. And this is what I knew getting out. One, none of my friends' childhood has seen me since we were some of us right there at North. You know what I mean? Some earlier, you know what I mean? Some sporadically since. But as far as the core group of those who were doing good and that were on Facebook and that had went from MySpace to that and were leading as far as demographics and all of the analytics that would show as far as microcosms, like, okay, this core group right here, this community is worth watching. We'll say like, we'll take it into like Crip Blood or North South, just to reference it like that. But they're not looking at it in that sense. They may, yeah, of course, now they're broadened it, but at that point, no. Because the platform, you got to understand, this is February 2011. This is barely coming online. So, as I've explained before, what I would do is on my news feed, I would be the first person right there meeting. I would sit there because I was actually posting. I was posting more than my entire. I could post more than my entire news feed in less amount of time. So whatever Facebook can show me and stream, I can literally outpace it 3-1 in post. So they shoot one post, boom, 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 boom. I can shoot back off the news feed. And then I can share those onto here and go back out. And then I can add all pages on there, right? I can add them, link them, and so that they spread into those pages and every person that's following those pages. You see what I'm saying? Okay, so at the core of that's right now what I know you and understand. People miss that. I'll get back to that. But going back there, okay, so at the time it was innocent enough. I was just playing around, like I said. So I wasn't posting like that. I was shy about what I would post. And I was deleting, like I was real sensitive, like, cause like I was real clear, like I wanted to maintain the innocence in the eyes of everyone who knew me that last moment. I didn't want them to see all of the shit that I had already done by that fucking point, you know what I mean? So I gotta maintain the integrity of certain things about myself, because at the same time, I'm flying under the fucking radar. You know what I'm saying? I'm on parole. You know what I'm saying? I'm on the go. I am the show. You know what I'm saying? And it's which way do we go? Which way do we go? You know what I mean? I'm sitting in the mini mansion like I explained. So then, I'm for every, instead of like going comment or going post per post, at that point I was just simply going I would be the first person to react. I'd be the first person to react, and I would be the first person to comment on all of them in rapid succession, right? So, okay, now let's put this in the proper perspective. So Facebook allowed 24 to stream through. Let's bring it in. 12 different friends that they run at any set, right? I meet all 12 of them first. Bam. Whoever they were intending to impress by what they said, it didn't matter. I knew all of them. I knew who the intended target was. I knew. I ripped it off the rip. So bam, I'm already first to react. Boom. I'm already the first to comment. Boom. I'm already the first one to turn the conversation upside down on its head. Now peep game. So from that dozen set right there to just set off, right, from wherever they are here in the valley or wherever they are in the country, wherever, at that particular point, I'm the first one to meet them there, right? And then in the course of those threads, I'm drawing everybody, because we're all friends, into about 3 different posts that would always lead. Like back then, they used to show these statistics. It would show how many people were on the thread. So we used to be in competition to run up threads. If anybody was on there at that point, you remember that people used to try. We had the longest thread. That was the lingo online. People were planking. People were doing all this dumb shit. I'm already knowing, dude. I'm saying I'm going to college, dog. I'm on my bestest behavior, living with my bestest bud, dog. I'm getting chauffeured around everywhere, dog. I ain't trying to do shit. You know what I mean? I can quarterback, coordinate, coach that shit from right there at the from ownership. I don't have from the mothership. I ain't got to do nothing else, dude. Why? Why do I got to go on the streets to prove myself something other than when that shit was done? You crazy? I'm gonna drag myself through that mire and muck again for what? Unless it happens by chance? Nah. But it wasn't that. See, at that point, I wasn't even in my thought, because I wasn't doing nothing illegal. Don't get it twisted. That doesn't really that actually doesn't happen. Well, let me take that back. Because I couldn't get a job, I had to sell drugs. So I listen. In my mind, I was not gonna sell more than a paycheck a week. That's it, dude. I had enough to keep money in my pocket, pay my way, and that was it, dude. I was not trying to. It wasn't no dope game, cocaine, wasn't none of that. That was a paycheck. Here, go sell these apples and oranges, homie. That's all that shit amounted to. 'Cause I didn't smoke, none, didn't drink, nothing. I'm going to college. I'm hobnobbing with people that are working on master's degrees, some with doctorates. This is legit. These are my people. What's cracking? What? See who else? Somebody else coming on there? I say with some trolls. But yeah, so okay, now I'm back. I delete my Facebook. That shit was crazy, bro. So, like I said, I'm gonna post that whole entire set from ChatGPT, so nothing's taken out of context. Because, like, you have to understand something. I'm talking to my goddamn self. All I'm doing is it's like my little paralegal, my little research, my little help, my little hand. As far as, like, I have to be able to frame the question to be able to get that knowledge, that wisdom out. Based on what my insights and foresights are. You know what I mean? I have to tell so much about myself because it's a dissertation in psychology. But like, okay, so the set of the crown amethyst over the, because it's a royal crown amethyst. So every so it's royal red, royal orange, royal yellow, royal green, royal blue, royal indigo, royal violet. And then if you know, okay, so do this as a sample, a test for yourself. Just do anything, right? Take a picture, get a logo or something, go on ChatGPT, upload it, ask it to make you an image, then start in the rainbow colors, red, right? And you just use their color set of red. Whatever they give you, don't correct them, just say red. And then go to the next one because they have the numbers. There's a C number that coordinates with all colors that are referenced, that are trademarked or patented. So, and you have to mix and blend those colors as they are already there in order to ascertain any color you're gonna try to trademark. But so, okay, if you do that when you get to the violet, because people don't understand, there's no color purple in the rainbow. That's it. That's it at violet. So if you ask from that last color, if you say, make me one in purple, it's gonna split into two, a set of two. You're gonna trip out because you're gonna see two distinctly different. Well, actually, in comparison to the violet, you're gonna see three different shades of purple, and then ask which one is the purple. And here's the thing: if you upload that image of those two, right? You're thinking you're gonna get two. You won't. You'll get one big one. It's purple. Okay. If you pull apart purple, which at its core is amethyst, it's a stone. Amethyst at its core, if you pull an amethyst, the stone out of its core is purpuree. Now, both amethyst, the stone, and purpuree have each of the colors of the rainbow, and I always knew this from fucking art class when I was a kid. and so, if you add an amethyst core to all of the rainbow, right? You add that amethyst purpuree core at the middle. You come up with a royal crown over all of the rainbow. It's a natural candy. It's a natural candy. It's a trip because you can, but you can't tell. So just try it and see. See, here's the thing. I'm coming with receipts now. Like I'm here. What did I say? I didn't get to come Friday, and I was out here, but you know, like Alexander, he could attest. Joe, there's some people that could attest to what the day was like. You know what I mean? Friday. But I did come out. I just had other shit going on, going into the Sabbath, which I did. You know, I did the Sabbath actual sermon right at sunset, right there. And this is right after I posted the calendar, the Hebrew calendar, the revised Hebrew calendar that I just wrote. I revised the Hebrew calendar. Do you understand what that means? I revised the Hebrew calendar based on my birth date. So let me tell you how that comes. So what you're going to see when I post it, and that's the amethyst set. It ends with emails. It's just a refining of emails to the whole court of rabbis, all of them. And it's calling into question their own beliefs, every rabbi's beliefs, as far as what day and age we're in right now, whether we're in the 6th week of Bible prophecy, or if we've entered the 7th week of Bible prophecy. And I could lay down science with the Torah, the Tanakh. I could lay down all necessary scripture, all necessary reference points, all of it, to point to the star in the sky that it represents at that moment, because I had to go in real time, go ask my mom, and it's all on there. It's in the chat. Exactly when was I born? I was born exactly at sunset, which is crucial to Malachi, the prophet Malachi, chapter 4. And that's at every rabbi. You would have to know scripture well enough to know and understand that. Go read Malachi chapter 4, you'll understand. Now I'm going to say something else. The prophet Elijah was not a Jew, nor was he a Muslim. Both sides who claim that are lying. Neither of them can prove who his father was, and neither of them can actually prove where and what a Tishbe is, or Teshbite. So yeah, that is a delusion that has been spread by both rabbi and imam. Don't believe none of them, because those are racial biases that all come into play after the fact. He could not have been the Prophet Muhammad, as a matter of fact, because the Prophet Muhammad is dead. So where is he to say that now? No, he's nowhere to be found, right? But there is someone alive who is speaking what? A call to what? Repentance. A call to what? Sabbath when? Sundown Friday till when? So every Muslim and Jew is under the same ark, the same covenant, the same law, the same principles that apply. So who is Muhammad? Who is any of them now in hindsight, if we're all waiting on Messiah to come? So then what? Is any man above a prophet who must first face the law instead? So how is any man on earth going to claim to be a prophet or apostle when he is not being a promoter of the law in which Jesus died over and his blood is sprinkled upon? So let that be noted and let that be said. Joe Vasquez, what it do, brother, man? What it do? All right. Hey, yeah, hit the... Hey, hold on. All right, I just gave you a ranch on that one, so you can just stay on that one too. Because I know you use your accounts interchangeably, so I gave you a what you call it on that. Just change the photo so I can know and I see when you come up. Put something that just kind of stands out from my vision. I'd be blind as a motherfucker, bro. But let me give you let me pick my own head up for a minute. Look at all this beauty around me. I walk around out here to all this beauty all day. Every day I come out here and see this. Back to life, back to reality, back to... Oh, I got me so I didn't tell you guys too. And I should have brought it, I forgot it. Tomorrow I'm gonna make sure to bring it. If I can find that mug, it should be, it shouldn't be far. But I was giving one of the Frisbee, one of the discs, and I played around. I still got the photos, I'll put them up. I'll post them on my community post so you can see the photos that I took out here. Dude gave me. And the crazy thing is he's just a random dude, random guy, chop, you know what I mean? Chop them up like I do, you know what I mean? Trying to learn the people in the community, you know what I mean? People who come out here, frequent the park, become friendly, you know what I mean? Neighborly, you know what I mean? Show some love, show some care, show some concern, show some interest in what other people have going on, you know what I mean? It's obvious what I got going on. You hear me from all over there, wherever you at. You could I'm pretty sure they can hear me right here where I'm at. Back to life, back to reality, back to here now. Tell me what you want me. Tell me, baby, I'll be there for you. How do you want me? How do you want me? That song, did that song flash you back to Bally or what? Huh? Was you thinking about the movie Bally? Nah, that flashed me back to childhood, huh? That flashed us back to childhood. See, even if you weren't old enough to remember that song coming out, you was old enough to remember your parents bumping it when you was in the womb. You know what I'm saying? You're old enough to remember hearing that driving down the street and at Granny house and all the good stuff, all the cultures that we shared and that was good and innocent, bro. You know what I mean? Till it just turned deadly violent in our own ears, bro, in our own ears. The sound of gunshots, and it wasn't no more block party, bro. It wasn't, the block party stopped. The block party stopped with the gunshots, dog. It was no more block party once the gunshots let off. But we used to have block parties and, you know what I mean, parks and recreations out here used to have carnivals at maybe quarterly at least. You know what I mean? They would set up the tents and all that stuff and had the gong show, the portable stage, the gong show, and we used to have the block parties and the dances at the rec centers and the gyms, and we still had sock hops and break dancing and hip hop and beat bop and, you know what I'm saying, all that. I don't know what the fuck's going on in this world today. Drill rap, perks, pussies, punks, bitches, baddies. I don't know. What is it about anymore, though? Lord help me. So the Soul was the band, huh? Back to life. That's why I come out senior citizen, bro. Back to reality. I'm going to be 51 in February. I pray that the Lord sees us all till February. If you're watching right now, I pray that the Lord sees us all through next year, man. That, you know, this streak of bad luck we've lived in life that we all test to and we tell how fucked up it is. I pray that this is the year we all overcome, man, for the sake of everyone. Now, why wouldn't I want to pray that everyone overcomes so that we all find peace under the sun? Why would I want for any divisions of mankind and for any to take preeminence over any other in mankind when I endeavor towards equality, equity, and justice? How could I ever want anything other than that? That's what one of them brothers said from a long time ago that since passed away. I don't know what color, what creed, what faith, but I think they said that shit like a long time ago. They was telling us in their point of revolution, stand up, give an account of, respect for, demand yours, and take that shit off the top, up front. Work hard for it, up front. Nah, don't let nobody tether you to your fucking entrails from behind and try to rip out all this you fucking, Trying to tell you, the devil is a lie. See, if you stop pointing fingers at people, the obvious is obvious. Listen, what could be more hypocritical than Congress? What could be more hypocritical than what we all witnessed by all of these politicians, all of them, everyone who's elected in Washington, D.C.? What could be more hypocritical than the kettle calling the fucking pot black? They are literally both exposing literally the evil of the other, yet the evil that the other professes the other is doing is more blaring than what the evil is that the one is doing, and they're all deceived into believing that none of them is a lie, when they're all lying. Oh, you think Barack Obama not a lie any more than fucking Bill Clinton and George Bush and fucking Ronald Wilson Reagan? Fuck no. And then Donald Trump is just a whole other fucking delusion in itself, dog. Like, he's one of them anomalies that just really pulled the rabbit out of the hat, because it exposed everybody's hatred, everybody's racism, everybody's misogynism, everybody's bigotry, everybody's corruption, everybody's thievery, everybody's pedophilia. It just exposed everybody's worst impulses. Because why? He's been living his worst impulses all along. And what has he been doing since he's been in the White House? Trying to conceal what? That he was on his knees for Bubba. He was already begging Bubba for blow pop, for he can get his seat. He was already begging Bubba. You don't see that it's all coordinated? So how is Epstein in direct communication? How is Epstein in direct communication with Putin via the emails that have come out? He has direct communication with Putin. He's asking for a photograph that has Bill Clinton and Donald Trump in a compromising position. Now, how does this play out? And both be elected president, when during the Monica Lewinsky scandal, it came out that Bill Clinton had been on the Lolita Express. So both Democrats and Republicans, what you got to say for yourself now in Congress, while you're still trying to steal our tax dollars for your fucking puppet masters? Because that's all you're doing. You fools are over there living off of the same tax dollars that are being ripped from us. No, we don't want you over there in Washington, D.C. no more. Nope. We want all, listen, if you can't go knock door to door and go get campaign contributions, grassroots, then nope, all corporate and all businesses and all otherwise money should be taken out. Nope. Any pooling of money should be grassroots. It should be districted. Like right here, this neighborhood should be able to come together and pool money together to elect someone from right here. That sounds reasonable and fair. And then based on that representation itself, based on the local communities, small business around here, create a bigger pool to represent towards Washington, D.C. So we have really, really, really righteous representation. So when they get there, they ain't lost in the sauce. They know who and what they're representing, because they got to come back home here like Marjorie Taylor Greene found out the hard way. As a matter of fact, Marjorie Taylor Greene found out the hard way. Jesus paid it all on the cross. He shed his blood so you can be washed clean and be righteous in God's eyes. Repent and believe in the good news. Go and sin no more. Amen. Joe Vasquez, they were British. Yep. Well, okay. Hey, so let's stop with that conversation here now. I'll put out literature that people can read, right? I'll just post the links onto my community here, and you can just tap in the links and go read the literature yourself. I've done the research, so I'll just leave everyone to sit there and read with that, because I don't want to go down those roads of conspiracy theory talk no more, because I'm gonna give you the answers. Like this is the thing. Like how can you? You're not gonna understand the nature of the deception. A baby doesn't come into this world. A baby's eyes, listen, it's unique that a baby's eyes are open when they come into this world, let alone the rest of it. We didn't want none of this shit. We didn't. Not one of us asked for it. None of us. So yeah. I showed my unappreciation to it all. But it doesn't mean that I don't strive for better and I don't strive for the best. And I ain't going to give my every day towards, expending my energy in success and in succession of that success in order to succeed in excess. If you get it, you get it. I can't go back and get it for you. That shit's gone, ghost. Pew! I live a good life the Lord blesses me with. Think about it. This year's Sunday, it's Sunday regardless. But is it, because some calendars have this as the first or whatever day. I don't even know the twisting of that calendar. It don't make no sense to me. We've never turned back the hands of time here in my life. I've never done that. Never played with the hands of time. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, there's, and like I said, I'm on the Hebrew calendar. Adam and Eve, Adam is created on the seventh day, as Scripture says. It's on the seventh day that Adam rested, that God rested. You see, mankind has misbelieved and lost God in all their sauce. They lost the innocence of God in the whole story. So you suppose that God, in that form, in that moment, understood what he was playing with? It's all relative to reflection. It's like if you have a child, if I have a child and I'm rearing that child and I watch it, I know I can see 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. That's not impossible. What's lost in the sauce is that the assumption is that when God created Adam, that he was already a grown man. What would lead you to believe that? What would lead you to believe that when God created this, he was a grown man? Why do people have these images that are lost on them in all this? If everything is being named in that moment, so it's being defined, it's being described, it's being descriptive. So it's giving life to, essence, and form, the words that compel all things to move. In the beginning, it was void. The word was with God. People misinterpret that meaning of that. It's an essence of, in and of, a reflection, a projection in and of. So when one's own self sees one's own way in one's own way and can see how one is making an error, boom, you correct. Hence a flood. Hence Egypt. Because you're misunderstanding that the Jews are not Jews, they're Hebrews. The oracles of God remain with the Hebrews, not the Jews. They were called Jews at a particular point. So then you have captivity in Egypt. And from captivity in Egypt, you have Exodus. You have the giving of the law. So from the giving of the law, you have the building of the wall. You have the temple turning. You have the tabernacle turning into the temple. You have the destruction of both, rebuilding of both, and where we at right now. Right? So now if you go and you count the number of the beast and you start with Egypt, Egypt to Babylon, Babylon to Medo-Persia, Medo-Persia to Greece, Greece to Rome, Rome to what? Chapter 12, 13 of Revelation. As a matter of fact, in that time period leading into America, and all of the symbols and all of the metaphors and all of it, I actually have the actual history, dates and time in which these very European nations that are right there defined in those verses. Jesus is born in Pisces. Yeshua is born in Pisces. This is a known fact. David Sarnoff, the inventor, the person, the single-handed person, David Sarnoff, the founder of RCA NBC, which is a joint venture, because one is the invention of the television, the other is the broadcasting signal of it. And he was a brigadier general Army signal in command out of the wars. He's born in the late 1800s. He lived to be 80 years old. He dies in 1971. I was born in February of 1975, in the same decade. I'm an Aquarius. If you count back from Sabbath to Sabbath right now, going back to the first, we are at the seventh week of Bible prophecy, as a matter of fact. Just based on those references of what I told you, anyone can go and look up. Being that I know exactly that I was born right there at sunset, there's a birth record. I can set my day star at that point. Do you understand how pivotal as far as astronomy and astrology, my day star being set at that sunset it is, to actually calculate backwards to that very daybreak of life being formed in all of humanity? Ask any rabbi, ask any Jew. Well, I won't say any. But I know those that are of Hebrew descent, they do. Because I ask a fundamental question. Who built the pyramids? Right? The Jews, the Hebrews, right? See? You see how I said that? Because everybody gets that. The Jews, the Hebrews, yeah, them, the slaves in captivity. Now, here's the question. Who are the architects? Who are the architects? Same Hebrews who had what? The oracles of God. So the preeminence predates all of the judgments. The oracles were already present before the divisions of all things in the fashion that they did, because the birthright of the Jew comes with the giving of the law. It's not, there's no otherwise inherent birthright without the law stating that they have a birthright to land and to liberty and to Jubilee and to Shabbat and to all of the festivals and all of the feasts and all that they're entitled to, from Passover being the sprinkling of the blood, Day of Atonement. That don't change for nobody's beliefs. If you believe in God. Hold on. I'm going to show this. Warning 1A. I'll take you out of that one bunk, Hilton, and cast you down with the sodomites. What is that? Isn't that where we all are in the sight of God? Are you casting down that same judgment on yourself first? Mr. Hilton, hold on, warning. Huh? Are you there first? Is that where you're at? And are you in that Hilton? Because if you're going to judge anyone, you better judge yourself there first, because in the sight of God, there is none righteous, no, not one. There's none that seeks after God. So what are you lying about? Let's hear it. Let's hear it for the boy. Warning. Warning A1. You just got a warn. You got an A1 warning sauce on top of your head. What happened? The judgment begins first with the prophet. You didn't understand that the prophet has to go give a reading of the law of Moses to all of the people in Israel first? God said thou shalt and thou shalt not you at your Hilton. What are you talking about? So did you begin that judgment with yourself when you spoke from your ivory tower that seems to be within a glass house? I'm born in the air of the glass house, homie. Remember that the judgment is all of us. What up, Spirit? What it do? You see, people misunderstand something. There was a woman who was caught in the act of adultery. Adultery takes two people to perform. In the sight of God, two people who are naked, engaged in sex, married man and woman, prostitute. The judgment, according to Leviticus, the law of Moses, states that both adulterer first, in the reading of in the language, adulterer and adulteress shall be put to death. So why they were partial in their judgment is to be questioned to begin with. If I'm cross-examining them in defense of her, so where is he at first? Because that's a sin, it's partiality. Clearly you showed a misjudgment in that, a misrepresentation. Clearly you were trying to trap this carpenter up in what you just stated. What does this carpenter have to do with that? Let he who is without sin cast the first stone. Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct him if he's wrong. So the judgment then stands against who now today? Because it says both adulterer and adulteress. So now, do you commit adultery? Do you right now, are you committing adultery, or are you celibate, or are you married? What is the sexual deviancy beginning with adultery that you commit, that you cast stones at? Is it bestiality? Do you have a problem with bestiality? Do you have a problem with homosexuality? Because the judgment in the book of Leviticus in the sight of God with the prophet is that both adulterer and adulteress shall be put to death first. That's the first verse. So then where do we go from there? Well, we're casting those stones of sexual deviancy. Now, you know what I'm saying? Because he who said, thou shalt not commit adultery, also said, thou shalt not kill. Now, if you show partiality in your judgment, are you not guilty of sin yourself? Are you not proving that you just want to stone this woman out of spite, out of resentment, out of hate, out of trying to entrap this Jew, this carpenter? Correct me if I'm wrong. So if thou commit no adultery, yet thou kill, or if thou commit any other sin, are you not guilty of all? Because he who said, thou shalt not kill, also said, thou shalt not commit adultery. So then, are we not all judged as the same sinners in the sight of God under the same rule and principle under the law as it stands? Because the sacrifice of the sprinkling of the blood of the sacrifice as the offering God given to mankind and his seed, only begotten son, Yeshua, Jesus, whatever, born of the Virgin Mary, was an atonement for sin. Not an idol to be made sainthood of and to be worshipped as a god, because that was never true. Man did that. Starting with Constantine, the politician, and we see how all of Christianity ain't nothing more than the same political body at work. The same beast that received a deadly wound then, it's just still talking at the side of his bloody, gurgling neck. While the seed of its corruption is dying in the White House, tearing it down, destroying it symbolically, metaphorically, allegorically, the judgment of God. I'm with it. I'm with it, Donald. Fuck it. I used to be against you, but I always knew if you got in, dude, God was, it was going to be good. Now I see it, shit. You see what happened to the MAGA party. You see what happened to the Republican Party. You know what I'm saying? This all pulled the Democrats out the closet, the DNC and their hypocrisy. And, you know what I mean? Like, we all need to dump on them. I tell you, go get independent, bro. Go rogue. Go Joe Rogan on them motherfuckers. Go rogue. Shout out Joe Rogan. Open your eyes, Joe. Joe Rogan. Open your eyes, man. You was believing too many lies for too long, dog. I stopped being able to watch your show until I started seeing you little flickers of hope like that in you, dude. You know what I mean? And your conscience started calling like, oh no, these dudes are sick. That's a pederast. Yeah, bro. That's a billionaire boy club right there. You didn't know? Oh, they knew they was on camera. They was priding themselves in being on camera, being able to look back on it. Yeah. No, it wasn't about blackmail. It was about them, you know, hey, showcasing. Swing-a-ling-a-ling. That's why they clown Trump about his thing-a-ling-a-ling like they do. And what do they call Bill Clinton? It's a billionaire boy club, homie. Bubba? Why a reference to someone named Bubba? Oh, boy. The man with the golden toilet? Oh my God. God could not have put the crown better on the top of America's crap and Rome's crap in the fashion that's come upon us. G-Town, Texas, 15 back in the day. Why did all the YT prison genre hate on you? Genuine question. See, because look, So where are they right now? I'm just asking, right? What can you expect from them at noon time? Like I said, basically Sunday through Friday, depending on if something happens. I'm gonna be working out. I'm on diet, exercise. I'm on my time, on my schedule, right? So when there's a consistent stream that you can count on daily, whether you disagree with me or not, there's a steady stream that you're gonna be able to tap into. It's clearing itself up. It's becoming more refreshed, more refined, more understood, more defined as it follows along. Whereas both hindsight being retrospect in this instance with them, what can you expect from them? Shout out Wes Watson. Shout out to everyone in the prison genre who's going to be making a reaction video to someone else in the prison genre with more subs than them. And shout out to all those with the numbers up there at the top that started doing it first, got there to the top first. They want to act like they didn't get there doing the same. Shout out to all of them. No parking, baby. You see that picture I took? You see my thumbnail? No parking on the dance floor. No parking, baby. I'm out here dancing, singing. I'm out here preaching, teaching. I'm out here exercising, dieting, all of the above on one live stream. 57 minutes now and running. No parking, baby. No sitting on your assholes. No, baby. No sitting, baby. No sitting on your culos in the prison yard. We can't do it. We striving for success, dog. If that shit didn't work for you then, you ain't hit that meal ticket by now, homie. I've already composed a calendar. I've already trademarked my own motherfucking color scheme of the rainbow. Man, this shit just all got to get out there. Come on, man. Somebody pick me up. Somebody know how to get this shit done. I give y'all that. Let's get some books done. Right now, we can start. Anybody that can start piecing this shit together. I'll get the literature together. We'll start running with it, marketing that shit and pushing it out there. If you can get it out, you get the big cut. I'll take 10%. For reals. I'll take 10% off the back end on the trademark. For real. My gift to humanity. That's just the man in me. That's what it takes to conquer this insanity and all this profanity and all this repeating the cycles. It's psychological. It's cultural. It's recurrence. It continues to happen over and over and over again. Same people expecting different outcomes yet. Hold on, let me go back. What was that? Hold on. G-Town, G-Town. I don't know. See, I don't even want to G-Town, what to do? I discovered you when I saw a video of you roasting the reefer. It was hilarious. Yeah, I get on them roast-a-thons. We roast, listen. We can't roast listen, we already ate that. That's already been roasted. We already ate that. I ain't going back to go eat my vomit there. Like, no. we got, listen, you bring them up, we'll roast them right here. You call them out, we'll roast them. If they deserve a roasting, bring them up. We're going to have roast-a-thons out here. Because, listen, I'm telling you, I'm just keep streaming. I'll look down, I'll catch something real quick, try not to lose too much, you know what I mean? Counting on my wrenches to keep all the blah, blah, blah. Because them comments will get way away real quick with that. You keep it in focus, though. You keep it in gear. You get that, I'm telling you. Think about it. I don't know how many miles I walked already, but one thing anyone can count on is the benefits of what I'm doing right now, both physically, mentally, and all of the above. Spiritually, you know what I mean? I mean, how much did it do for the viewing audience? Let's start there. You know what I mean? If you disagree with me, listen. If you disagree with me and you turn to go check me in your searches and shit, right? You want to go check my knowledge and shit, then I'm for you. I'm for your success. I'm for you finding out the truth for yourself. But the childish chitter chatter that we all know how they do, we all know how boys act. It don't matter if they've been to prison. That's childish stuff. It's ignorant and we know what it is, dude. Okay, we get it. You were in a gang. You were in prison. Okay, so is there anything else to report about you, your life, your progress, your success? Because otherwise, you're just leeching off of the viewing audience and you know it. You know that's that fucking check that keeps you motherfuckers going. So, you know, and the reality of it is that we could all just swallow our pride. We could all, listen, we could all come together and have really honest conversations about shit. But you know what? People think that it matters that you did this or you didn't do that or whatever. Like, it don't. Have I ever been bound by any of those principles that anyone has tried to apply, from race to geography to anything? Nothing has stuck to me, right? Race, no identity that anybody's ever tried to ascribe to me, define me as, right? Yeah, I accept all of the above and keep it moving. And it's worth more to you for me to do that than for me to sit there and live with that judgment. It's more beneficial for you to watch me say, okay, yeah, I'm that, and then overcome, isn't it not? Because otherwise, what is the repetition of your daily routine anyway? If you don't have something or someone else to tap into, a different stream to make you think outside of mainstream, that's your own bubble. And we all do it. We all have our own little bubbles that we lay in and we watching and playing and shit in. We all know this about ourselves. This begins by me explaining my you know, how I do on this on social media. That's why I begin this live by giving some sound solid advice to all content creators. Listen, I would stream through starting at Facebook. Right? Let me give you some time on this. So from Facebook, you have to understand at this time when I'm on there, Instagram just comes online. The homie Hump was a master of Instagram. Him and his people were the first ones on Instagram in a microcosm, like when there's just barely so many of them coming on that are already demonstrating. And they're fucking with us and they're fucking with them in Sinaloa, Culiacan, Rocky Point. You know what I mean? So like, the stage is set. My social media, my friend set based on the relation to their friend sets and what was actually happening and unfolding at the time. So the communications that we're using, BlackBerry, because the encryption of Messenger, we all knew this. Everybody knew paisas were on the BlackBerries at the time. This is a common saying out here. You have to be here to understand this. The communications that are set up out here, why people do what they do. Because within those chain of links of communications, right, I'm telling you, Blackberries, there's two phones. There's a BlackBerry because there's that encrypted communications. There's going to be a sat phone. There's going to be two-way radio. There's a set of communications that's always maintained within any cell. It don't matter what type of cell. Those communications are always set. So when this happens to me on Facebook, when I make the bet with the homie Hump over this stupid shit, and then the next day I get that email from Aaron Egan, that's a multi-million-dollar communication scheme that has to be redeveloped. That shit had to be dumped immediately. That's the type of backlash and reaction that was triggered down the line. That literally everybody had to dump fucking that type of a network downline and redo it. It was necessary. I told the homie, dog, I can't be on the run. I can't be on the run and be in a chain of communication that's already set. You guys, there's the assumption is that you have to assume that it's already been infiltrated. This way, it gives a whole new chain of communications that stems from right here. Because the intent was to take over the tunnels. That was done. Nobody can find. I don't know where my breath was at. They can't give an account of me either. I don't know. I was long gone for that. I don't know. I left Rocky Point before that shootout happened. I was ghostesses. I don't know the mostesses. But okay, so I'm saying this to help you understand something. Okay, so from I'm watching Facebook grow in this time frame, right? So Mark Zuckerberg, he ascertains all of the assets and communications that we were using. So BlackBerry's coming apart. He's only interested in Messenger, that component, because of its encryption. It was the most secure at the time, so he gets that. We were using WhatsApp, which had just come online. So it's all in how you coordinate it, right? To keep it from getting interrupted or intercepted. It's all in how you coordinate those communications through those links. Emails and I'm just trying to give you a visual of how it's, like how I gotta, because like the way I'm talking to you right now is the way I'm talking to a translator interpreter. This then taking what I'm saying, what's necessary, and translating it down the line, so that I have a double. There's a multi-layered protection around me in communications. Because it's cool if those signals got at any point, don't really matter. But you can't get ahead. You can't allow them to get ahead of who's calling the plays in the book. You can't let no one see the architect like David Sarnoff. You cannot let them see. So while your J. Edgar Hoovers and all them are doing their type of shit, Sarnoff's the general. He's in there in command. Everybody else looking at all this other shit. So like, okay, from here, what I'm visioning now that I have that set and I deleted that Facebook or whatever is because you can monetize off of Facebook. Now, another thing that like I said with Mark Zuckerberg is that he purchased Instagram for a reason. Anybody, listen, even if I didn't tell you this story, his asset portfolio makes sense. Crypto Coin Incorporated. Listen, I was the one who came up with that first scheme to fucking be able to fucking, that was using fucking cryptocurrency at the time to transfer that large sums of money. And how we were, listen, a person like myself doesn't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're into. I don't know. Listen, I don't even care enough to even think about it after the question's asked. Hey, this is literally how it would sound. Oye, compa hueco, what do you think about? And then there'll be a question, a logical, sensible, logistical question that they want me to analyze. Well. And then it's like, but what about this? Well, then. Yeah, but, bro. And then, here, fool. And then, you know what I mean? Let's go here, let's go there, whatever. And then fucking, listen. By the time it comes back to me again, the question, right? There's time that goes by. So when it comes back to me, it's like, okay, now, all right. I have to get back to what the fuck these motherfuckers are doing and thinking, because I'm in a whole other world. I got to deal with shit that's real time on the ground right here. At the same time, I got to protect all this work, all these assets, you know what I'm saying? All these fools from Tango Blast, all this shit going. You got to understand what Waco was like at that time. That's Baylor University, fool. That stadium was just being built there. They just won basketball and football titles. There was that type of money out there. There was that type of people that were going through there. And there's only 2 strip clubs. We were clearing out parking lots. So from here, if you got Instagram, you have to understand Instagram is a photo reel. And it's perfectly, that's what Mark Zuckerberg needed in addition to Facebook, because that part of that app within the app itself can only grow so far. So he needs one with those type of potentials that he can link to it that allow you those capabilities, all that Instagram does. So it's that's why you see it, you can link everything through it. So it's best to link everything through there and then chain off of your Instagram. So if you do like all these other platforms, streaming or whatever, you chain off of those. See, people don't understand, like you could literally stream one off of one. Listen, I haven't went to school long enough. You know what I mean? Like I would have to go back to school, take a class and ask the right questions to actually be able to do it myself right then and there. But yeah, so like there's a way of, and what I'm saying by this, and this is to all the content creators, is like, this is to maximize your potential as a content creator and extend your reach. You know what I mean? Like you extend your reach through your data file by doing that. So like what I did on Facebook in repetition like that, it creates a perfect role. It mirrors the news feed that I can just continue to grow off of. But that's what you're supposed to do. You know what I mean? Like, okay, so in using Facebook, it's crucial, especially if your star check, I just deleted my star count, my blue check count, is the perks and everything that come through the using of that and being able to boost your reach on a platform that has that many users is where you need to, that's where you want to propel, that's where you want to, listen, that's where you want to cultivate your following from. You guys are all trying to cultivate a following from each independent platform instead of cultivating from there. You see what I'm saying? So if you start on your start a new Facebook with a profile account. Draw in your personal friends first, right, like that, and build from around that core. Then create pages off of that. So you're creating a demographic core that is your profile. Then you're creating pages off of that that a lot of people can follow, right? So you can extend that to as many people as actually will follow you, right? So in your mainstream from there, right, what you want to do is pay attention to your news feed, right? You want to sort them out. Get the memes that are messaging on line with what you're putting out there. So there'll be memes that you can put in stream. Boom. That's perfect. Put your own words. You got to have your own shit. Sit there, type something out. Even if it's just you know what I mean? In your own wording, keep those communications, right? When you're reacting on your news feed, you should only have basically 3 reactions. Natural reactions. You're going to love something, you're going to leave it alone. So that second consideration to it, because it's a triggered reaction, will be to laugh. You're going to get mad, right? So you want to take that mad button out. Just take that mad button out. You take the mad button out because you ain't going to look at nothing that makes you mad. If it instantly does that, just actually hit the X on it and get it off of your stream. Right? Because you're trying to get your news feed to stream perfectly with what you're representing and build it up into your pages. So you're sharing with pages alike. Right? So you'll share those pages onto yours and vice versa, share your pages onto theirs so long as they allow it. Right? And there's where you do your live streaming off of there. That, listen, you can run a live stream from there that you can chain to I would chain to here YouTube, right? Because this is like, from that right there, this is like your tower signal, right? This is like that tower signal that's more for this, right? This is the video audio library. That's a different sorting of library that also allows you the same, because, like, think about it. If I was running stream on all of those platforms right now, the reach and the potential that I would have doing that, right? So that allows that, and then for, for the audience, for the followers, for those who enjoy the content of each of us, no matter what it is, you have so many, no matter where you are, to tap in from. But it's on us as content creators to keep a steady stream. See, I'm gonna build my longs and shorts off of this. You see what I'm saying? Off of these long lives, I'm gonna build my longs and shorts off this. I can clip and run from here. What I forgot to do, and I need to start doing, is screen recording these lives so that I can actually better do so. Because like now you see how, I'm not ranting and raving. It's not the normal shit that you normally get on here. Because there's clarity. You might have to understand, bro, by the time 7 o'clock rolls around, 9 o'clock, I'm dead ass out these days. And if I crash out at like 9 o'clock, I could wake up between 12 and 1 and be wide awake, because that's so much sleep. Like, I'm dead ass out, no waking up. Like, I'm drained of all of that type of energy, dude. Like, I do not have that energy in me. Let me see how long I've been running. Hold up. Yeah, absolutely cannot be right. I went around here too many times for that. That I know. And I've been live 76 minutes. So I know absolutely. I know 100% for absolutely. I did 1.25 miles. But it's just glitches, you know what I mean? Like, it's easy for a motherfucker to get paranoid, think they motherfucker. Now, I just notice shit like that, like, because it fucks up my whole momentum. But I'm time-stamped too, because I'm always on the clock. So I'm looking at the clock, it's 1:19. I've been under 76 minutes. And I know running at this rate, I've already measured about the mileage, about how many miles I walked, by the fatigue in my body based on, never mind fitness app. Never mind AI thinking you're going to take over this body running. Nobody, baby. You know what I'm saying? Hey, bro, how you gonna be living in such fear you think AI is gonna get you? What is AI? You know what I mean? Like, before we end this, let's have that delusional AI is gonna get us conversation. So people really thought it was gonna be like Will Smith. You let Will Smith, you let that boy right there be taking in the booty, sharing his girlfriends and stuff with his other boyfriends, and sharing his babies with his boyfriends and girlfriends and stuff so they can have celebrity. You mean that guy? That iRobot guy that led everybody to believe what? Artificial intelligence is gonna do what? To who? See, because that's the question. Was gonna do what and to who? Because you can't say that anything was gonna do anything to me. Well, I prove it every day. Ain't none of you talking about gonna touch me. Unless you're gonna come over here with me and walk it out. Now, let's walk it out. And walk it out. You know what I mean? That's what we're gonna do around here. We're gonna take it to every region in the United States of America. We're gonna do it in Ebonics. You know what I mean? We're gonna do it in Spanglish. We're gonna do it in every form of broken English with every accent you can think of up under this Bible belt right here. Sun belt, right? I said Bible, this sun belt right here. Fuck about the Bible gets scorched right here. You learn your faith right here in this desert terrain. We not the same. Tomorrow I gotta because I told myself that too. I was gonna start bringing my disc out and do a round from over there like that. Because I noticed like I need to get my shoulders broken up like. And the more like the more that my muscles tense like that from all of this, start building muscle mass, the more that I get less. Can't put no handcuffs on me, homie. Once I can't put no handcuffs on, don't bother with me. PPD knows I need 2 sets of handcuffs to be restrained. and to get somebody that physically needs two handcuffs to restrain him behind his back, and that you absolutely have to get restrained behind his back, if he's just fucking, yeah, it be hurting, dude. Them police messed me up in my life. I was a terrible kid, bro. I was a bad kid. I deserve every bit of, listen, bro, I deserve everything I got in life. And police, bro, there wasn't a time that I didn't rumble with them police. Not too many times I didn't rumble with them police. Let me give you guys a... It's beautiful out here. Because I'm about ready to end this, get these headphones on and smash, because I don't like the way this fitness app is doing, because based on time-wise, I know I'm in a crunch right now, so let me give you guys this last little bit of the day. This is my deal. So you see when I come, that shot you seeing, you know, that's actually from a sunset. That's actually, it just, the glow, the sunset is glowing more enhanced on that photo, obviously, but that's what you're looking at. Phoenix, baby. Give it up for Phoenix, baby. Come to the Valley of the Sun. You know what I'm saying? Nothing but love and peace. We out.